Hello everyone, my name is Muskan. I am a legal intern at LexClick and Company. So the topic of discussion is law of bail in India. Bail is the release of the convicted person to submit a personal bond or assurance to comply with the conditions imposed by the court and to appear before the court. Just because a person is accused of a crime, an endless period of time is not required to hold the individual in custody. Bail is a fundamental aspect of any criminal justice system that grants the accused the right to a fair trial. The practice of granting bail grew out of the need to safeguard the fundamental right to liberty. No person shall be deprived of their personal liberty unless prescribed so by reasonable, fair and just procedure. Bail is a mechanism that ensures liability to the accused without giving any unjustified benefit to them. However, it has been observed that the practice of granting bail is quite unstable and vague, including factors like bail bond, amount consideration for granting bail and conditions imposed in a bail bond. There are various judgments wherein the apex court has observed that each case needs to be examined for its facts and circumstances before granting bail. The paramount consideration for granting or refusing bail is to strike a balance between individual rights and the interests of the society. In Black's Law Dictionary, bail has been defined as security such as cash or bonds, especially security required by the court for the release of a prisoner who must appear at the future date. According to Supreme Court of India, bail is devised as a technique for effecting the synthesis of two basic concepts of human values, namely the right of an accused person to enjoy his personal freedom and the public interest, subject to which the release is conditional on the surety to produce the accused person in court to stand the trial. In recent times, bail in India is a highly debated issue. There are a number of reports that explain the state of criminal justice system in India. The release on bail is crucial to the accused as the constitution of pre-trial detention is given by the state agencies. If release on bail is denied to the accused, it would mean that he is presumed to be innocent till the guilt is proved beyond a reasonable doubt in the court. He would be subjected to the psychological and physical deprivation of jail life. As a result, the jail accused loses his job and is prevented from contributing effectively to the preparation of his defense. Equally important, the burden of the detention frequently falls heavily on the innocent members of the family. Law or bail should balance between two conflicting demands, shielding the society from his advantage of the person legally involved in the crime and presumption of the innocence of the accused till he is found guilty. The courts below are supposed to be guided by the principle bail is the rule and jail is the exception, but that exception is further subjected to an exception that the provision of bail should not be interpreted only for the benefit of accused person but also for the benefit of prosecution as well as for the benefit of society at large, which can also be affected directly or indirectly with the commission of an offence against society as a whole. In a conflict between social security and individual liberty, the court need to sacrifice the security of the society at the individual liberty. Personal liberty is a fundamental right protected by the constitution under Article 21 for the provision whereof merely legally the approved procedure of arrest and detention are not enough unless they are shown to be reasonable, fair and just. In the Indian legal system, provision relating to bail can be found in Chapter 3 CRPC under Section 436 to 50. In the context of bail, the term offence has been categorized as bailable offence and non-bailable. As defined in Section 2A, bailable offence means an offence which is shown as bailable in first schedule or which is made bailable by other law for the time being in force. Non-bailable means any other offence. Bailable offences are presumably less heinous, therefore the sentence for the same is less severe and the accused can claim release on bail as a matter of their right. Generally, certain forms of crimes are punishable for less than 3 years. The chances of granting bail are far better in the case of bailable offences. Bailable offences refer to an offence that is listed in the bailable. In the event of such an offence, after such requirements have been met, bail can be issued as a matter of law under Section 436 of CRPC. In case of bailable offences at the time of arrest of incarceration, police are allowed to issue bail to defendant. Therefore, in bailable offences, it is mandatory upon the court or police to release the accused by any time during their arrest and custody. The term non-bailable does not imply that bail can be granted at all. It simply means that the accused can claim it as a matter of right at the time of arrest or custody, but they can approach the court while they are on the trial. When exposed to bailable offences, this offence is grievous in nature. The sentence in the case of non-bailable crimes is 3 years or more. In non-bailable offences, it is a court discretion to grant bail to the accused, and the same must be decided judicially and not whimsically. Conclusion. Law of bail should balance between two conflicting demands of the society as a whole, shielding society from misadventures of the person legally involved in the crime and presumption of the innocence of the accused till he is found guilty. The courts below are supposed to be guided by the principle bail is the rule and jail is an exception, but that exception is further subject to an exception that the provisions of bail should not be interpreted only for the benefit of accused but also for the benefit of prosecution as well as for the benefit of the society at large, which can also be affected by directly or indirectly with the commission of an offence against society in a conflict between social security and individual liberty. The court need not sacrifice the security of the society and the altar of individual liberty. The system of checks and balances in the form of competent authority has to bring into force targeting at the arbitrary exercise of discretion by courts. Bail procedures for the economically marginalized section of society must be carried without much delay and formalities which would otherwise result in a flagrant violation of their fundamental rights. The question of bail or jail alternatives needs to be answered at the stage of arrest, investigation, inquiry and trial, and also at the stage of appeal after conviction of the accused. The jurisprudence of bail should give equal impact so far as the freedom of person and the interest of social order. As a matter of fact, the law of bail has to be compatible with the principle of presumption of innocence. If a person held in custody pending trial suffers the same restrictions on his liberty as one serving a sentence of imprisonment after conviction, by keeping accused persons out of custody until tried, convicted and sentenced, bail should protect against the negation or dilution of the presumption of innocence. So that's all for today. If you like my video, do like, comment and subscribe the Lux Click YouTube channel. Thank you.